There's gonna be a narrator here that's gonna attempt to steal my job, but buzz off. I'm calling the shots here. So our story begins with your run-of-the-mill yada 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 boy meets girl. Don't worry, I'm not here to put you to sleep. I'm here to make a gut-busting recap. Gosh darn it. Let's start off from day one. This is Tom Hansen, and he's from New Jersey. Basically, he's like Ted Mosby, believing that his happiness revolves around true love. Ironically, he got this from British music, and oh boy, this is gonna be one of those a day in the life of a true Brexit geezer, except this one's an incel. Let's meet our main gal, Summer Finn. She's from Michigan, and she's also basically spiraled out of romantic reality thanks to the separation of her parents. Now, like any teenager with fatherless behavior, she cuts her hair to symbolize character development, but we're not yet there, toots. The stars finally align on January 8th, and maybe, just maybe, Tom will score tonight and finally shed his incel status. Let's hope you desperate wallflowers out there touch grass and begin to talk to the actual opposite gender. Please. Skipping the crummy childhood footage, we're already at day 290. We have a little girl biking into the dark streets of the city, and it looks like she's about to make a house call. Looks like Hit Girl has arrived in these two dudes' apartment, and they make her sound like she's a one-girl Ghostbuster team. It's a dire emergency, and yeah, Tom is just randomly breaking plates like a numbskull. Those don't grow on trees, you know. Apparently, Rachel's here to help comfort Tom about what sounds to be like a Discord kitten issue. So Tom recounts the source of this trouble. He and Summer were at their honeymoon phase, you know, hand-holding uncensored in public, cuddling in bed, making other people feel bad with their PDA, probably taking some awful advice from Anthony Fantano, you know, the usual. You know what happens next?
I think we should stop seeing each other.
Poof, bootleg Katy Perry calls it off. Yep, just like that.
Just like that.
Apparently it's because it might have something to do with how they argue a lot. Who knows, maybe she's just experiencing mood swings. Afterwards, they compare themselves to a famous British rock band that I can't say the name because my editor will fire me, but the band's name basically ends with Pistols. Their meal comes, and I swear, sarcasm is probably the main ingredient in this dish. Tom feels hopeless, so he books it out of there. Like all good and idiotic best friends, they all say the most cliched bits. Just like Ted Mosby, he doesn't give up and wants her back. You know what? This is all an overload, so to cause problems on purpose, let's go back to day one. Tom's team holds a meeting and they have a marketing stunt for Other Mother's Day. Agent Phil Vance here, Tom's boss, wants some mock-ups for this project. Then there is Summer. Vance introduces his new assistant to the team. Then Tom gets starstruck. The narrator goes on some boomer, non-progressive rant, so that's out of the window. Basically, she's your average cuties. She loves bands that appeal to rebellious brats. She took a job at an ice cream parlor. Then she rented an apartment. The difference is that she has the Summer effect. It's some kind of placebo delusion that basically means anything Summer touches, it goes up in market value. Is this a romance film or an economics class? Dude, you're boring the audiences halfway to their graves. Tom talks about her to his office mate, and right off the bat, he calls her the vulgar female dog noun. Tom totally buys it, so he lets it go.
You know what? Screw her. I don't care.
Suddenly, on day 4 of their meeting, Summer and Tom get fated to ride together on an elevator. And just like any e-girl today, she immediately recognizes the Smiths playing from Tom's headphones. Tom is bewildered that a girl talked to him, so he's at a total standstill.
I love the Smiths.
Time for day 8. During the company party, Tom pulls a total Scott Pilgrim on Summer, but without the cringy Pac-Man dialogue. Actually, they hit it off pretty well. Tom talks about how he's a failed architect, so he's been stuck here at this greeting card company for 3 to 4 years now. He then tries to impress Summer with a sweet greeting card. Then Summer says they used to call her something inherently promiscuous. But misunderstood, so moving on. Tom takes Summer's advice and actually tries his hand at some architecture, but fails again. Fast forward to day 154, and Tom admits it. Summer is his manic pixie girl dream. He basically gushes over her to his friend over here for quite some time.
This is not good.
This is like a Tarantino film because it keeps moving to and fro on different parts. So, on to day 11. Tom gushes to his younger sister, Rachel, while they play Wii tennis. 11 days later, his fictional and delusional relationship with Summer is off.
I'm over it.
Wow, that fast, huh? Tom tells his friend what went down, and it's basically Summer just telling him that her weekend was good.
It was good.
Way to shock the boys, Tom, he thinks. Actually, overthinks too much about this whole ordeal.
What the hell is wrong with you?
Up next, he baits Summer with the Smiths, and she doesn't bite. Man, Tom, you're really sounding like a Redditor. 5 days later, his mate Mackenzie invites him to karaoke night, and at first he doesn't bite as well, but since this is a company thing, Tom has his sights on Summer. On that fateful night, Tom comes, and lo and behold, Summer goes up to sing. After that, Tom tries to woo Summer, but a drunk Mackenzie is in the way.
See your boyfriend?
Further into the conversation, it's revealed that Summer actually just wants to be alone. This stems from the trauma of her parents' divorce, so she thinks love is a myth.
There's no such thing as love, it's fantasy.
Wow, they're really meant for each other since they're both not getting laid. After a couple of drinks, Tom spices up the joint with his inebriated singing. You know what? Actually passes with flying colors on this one. Afterwards, Summer and Tom hit it off. It's quitting time, so the drunk Mackenzie snitches on Summer that Tom actually likes her. He plays it off as Mackenzie's drunk brain going cuckoo, but he just passes it off as liking his friends. Smooth, buddy. Real smooth.
Just as friends?
3 days later in the office, it's kinda awkward, up until Summer takes the leap of fate. Good lord, she has bigger cojones than you, my guy. Sometime later at his home, Tom gets a frisky visit from his good buddy Paul, mainly because he was moaning about this girl for weeks, but now he suddenly got to first base with her. Tom tells him to shut up because, surprise,
Hi.
Summer is at his place. Paul's a good buddy, so he leaves, but not before notifying Tom about those jobs. Day 282, and it's just Tom trying to impress Summer with some dad jokes, but she doesn't bite. On day 34, however, this seems to be the opposite. They enjoy their time together at the Home Depot. In fact, they make quite a scene, and I might remind you to not pork out at the public Home Depot. That's until Summer says she's not looking for anything serious, but Tom is all right with it. No pressure, she says, but famous last words. They leave IKEA, and oh boy, is it time for Tom to score a home run? I'm not too sure because he retreats to the bathroom. But once he comes back, and there he is, our graduated main man with a smile that reaches from ear to ear. Remember that scene from Spider-Man 3 when Emo Peter walks around the city like a goof? Well, here Tom walks around the city feeling like $1,000,000. The entire town and its denizens suddenly turn into his personal musical backup dancers. Heck, he even scored a literal home run. Now, that's symbolism. This is gonna be a great day for Tom. It's day 303 for Tom and he feels like hot garbage. Oh, the irony. It looks like Tom is having a lot of troubles with his relationship, so Mackenzie offers him some advice. Write a book about it instead of crying a river about it.
Working on it.
Ironically, Summer emails him that she now just wants to be friends. Flashback to day 45, and there's Summer going schizo over the Knight Rider theme. What a contrast to what's currently happening. 42 days later, and they're arguing about the Beatles, and you know what? They ran out some, 18 and above movies. Yeah, let's go with that. Counting to day 95, and it looks like the couple's having a date, and Tom shows her a building that no one probably cares about.
There's a lot of beautiful stuff here too, though.
Tom then shows her a bench that has a great view, and he shows her the most important views, some random parking lots. Good lord, I love urbanization. Summer wants to know how much Tom could spice this place up.
How would you make them notice?
So she gives him a pen and lets him draw on her arm. Not gonna lie, that's quite the sketch. Moving up to day 109, Tom gets to Summer's place and it's not too shabby. Tom finally gets a big look at what Summer really is. Summer tells Tom a lot of things that she hasn't told anyone before, so you know it's getting kinda serious. Tom's thrilled that he's not just anybody to Summer now, so it's time for the gents to talk. A day passes and Paul and Mackenzie come to talk to Tom about his whole dilemma. He doesn't know if they're going steady or if this is just another casual fling.
We don't need to put labels on.
Out of ideas, Tom asks his kid sister for advice, and she basically just says that Tom is just anxious about the answer Summer will give him. Tom better get an answer now, before some dude literally with Brad Pitt's face and Jesus' abs gets to Summer. Looks like they're done here because Rachel calls his older brother the naughty cat word. Later on, Tom is driving Summer to the movies and he finally asks if they're an item or not. You know what? Summer doesn't know either.
I don't know.
But one thing's for sure, if she's happy, then Tom's happy about it too. Skipping to day 259, Tom takes Summer on a dinner date to this snooty place. Then,
Yo.
here comes a vulture trying to pick up scraps. He tries to woo Summer, but just like Andrew Tate picking up some pizza, he gets shut down. Of course, he badmouths Tom and finally, some action. Hours later, they arrive at Summer's place, and someone's in trouble. Summer doesn't like it that he got into a fight because I gotta say, that's kinda too drastic of what Tom did. Summer's too tired to talk about it, but she just suddenly says that they're just friends. But Tom does make a point. I mean, who goes to fourth base with their friends? Summer likes him, but she doesn't want a relationship. So Tom gets riled up about this and storms off. That night, Tom tries to call Summer, but chickens out. Someone's at the door, and look who it is.
I shouldn't have done that.
It's Summer, and she walks through the rain to apologize about her behavior. Looks like this couple's finally gonna get some equal footing. More time passes and Tom asks about Summer's past relationships. Looks like Summer talks about her 7 evil exes. Evil's too strong, but I think old fits more. These relationships never worked out because life got in the way.
What always happens? Life.
On another day, the lovely couple spends their date at the local park. I wonder what they're gonna do. Yeah, nope, they're literally just shouting the vulgar male organ over and over again. Amazing couple. Off to day 191, and the couple are at an art gallery and they look at some fine art, up until they literally come across some droppings. So who wants to go to the movies? These two do. Time skip to day 314, and it looks like Tom is alone in the movies, watching this French motion picture. He tries to make friends with this clown, but just as expected from clowns, clown behavior. The movie ends, and man, Tom looks horrible. A week passes, then Tom gets a call from his boss to come to his office. Man, he's about to get his chops busted. Vance asks about Tom's feelings about things, but he says he's fine. The jig is up when he brings up his old assistant, Summer, leaving. Vance says he looks miserable about it, so everyone knows.
Tom, everyone knows.
It's creeping into his workflow. Mr. Vance, being the understanding boss that he is, says he should channel all this teen angst into a different workflow, emo greeting cards. Counting back to day 167, a much brighter looking Tom steps up to the office. Then Mackenzie asks about his work. Looks like he's at the top of his game. He helps out a bunch of people in his office.
I hate summer.
It's day 322, and oh boy, it just keeps getting better. Now he even hates the songs that remotely relate to summer. 23 days later, and it looks like Tom is taking his baby steps to move on. Specifically, he's on a blind date with Allison over here. Things are going great. They're terrific. No, they're not. Tom thinks that this is going nowhere.
Oh.
Then, of course, he drunkenly rants to her about his old flame, Summer. He gets paranoid where it really went wrong, but at least Allison takes this all like a champ. Tom suddenly gets a terrific idea. That's right, that astonishing idea is to go to a karaoke bar drunk out of your mind. Great idea. Allison then has had her last straw, so she dips. We're hitting day 402 and we're greeted with a sober Tom, I hope. He hops on a train and calls someone, and it looks like he's headed for a retirement home when he talks to Mackenzie about it. He found a seat, but did you see that? Tom tries to act natural. Then Summer approaches him. Looks like they're going to the same destination since they're both visiting a mutual workmate. They try to catch up, but you can sniff the awkwardness a mile away with how they're really trying to be civil and whatnot. Summer tries to ask him for a coffee, and he actually accepts. They get a cup or two, and you know what? I take back what I said. This reunion actually goes swimmingly because they do enjoy each other's company. Moving ahead to the day of the event, the two are actually attending their workmate's wedding. Summer and Tom catch up some more and they laugh about each other's flaws.
You snore.
No, I don't.
Soon, someone pumps up the romantic volume. Then Millie throws the bouquet. Of course, it lands with Summer. Afterwards, Tom and Summer share a dance. Then Summer invites him to a party, which he accepts. Looks like this night is actually better than the recent ones Tom had. The day of the party arrives and Tom's expectations are sadly not to par with reality. Let's just say that the reality part is quite bitter. This is gonna be the loneliest VR experience you're gonna get because in reality, instead of smooching it up with Tom, he loses it at the sight of Summer having a pretty ring on her finger. It's gonna be a dreadful night for Tom because the line between reality and expectations begins to slip away. 440 days, and oh boy, how long can Tom keep up? The day passes, and we're at the mourning period of the relationship, lads. Finally, the day after that, Tom sloppily makes it to work. A board meeting comes in, and Rhoda here is very enthusiastic about her cat. Tom has nothing to contribute to the board meeting, up until he calls Rhoda's work total garbage. Jeez, then he goes a bit ballistic with his recent mood. Well, after that, he quits his job.
I quit.
It's day 450 and he's looking quite better. Until we see the drawing of Summer that he made, Rachel gives him some sane advice. Look at the entire relationship, not just the good stuff. Tom begins to reminisce and he remembers that one movie that made Summer cry, then that empty yet bittersweet visit at the album store. It's 20 days between 456 and 476, and it looks like Tom is just moping around. That's until Tom finally picks himself up and actually works on his architectural talents. Finally, after this entire time, he gets his old architectural prowess back, while Summer gets married. Day 488 is here and Tom looks dashing. He sits on that old bench that he and Summer used to do. Then, speak of the devil, there she is. They catch up and slowly the bitterness from Tom breaks from the seams. Tom doesn't believe in true love anymore, but ironically, now Summer does. With the closure coming from Tom, he truthfully wishes Summer happiness.
I really do hope that you're happy.
It's the dawn of the final day, the big 500. Tom's at this office and it looks like he's going for an interview. There, he meets a girl that's interviewing for the same position. Apparently, she's seen Tom before from his favorite spot in the city. He gets called to the interview, but before that, he swings back to ask the same girl on a date. At first, she was reluctant, but oh, what the heck. Tom introduces himself, and she goes by Autumn. Hope you all get to find that special someone, because that's it for 500 Days of Summer by Mark Webb, starring Zooey Deschanel, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and Minka Kelly. Which day was your favorite? Let us know in the comments below using #CinemaRecap, and we'll see you on the next date.